Durbanville race meeting on Saturday, brought to you by GGGaming. A wonderful card, not the biggest field, but certainly looks to be a competitive race meeting. Let's go straight into race number one. This is the Welcome to Cape Racing. It's a maiden plate over 1,400 meters, and here my first choice is going to be your favorite, number one, Picture the Moment. Trained by Vaughan Marshall, Anton Marcus jumps on board, and this horse has got some very solid form. He's finished second his last two starts, and he does look to have an opportunity here to shed his maiden tag. For second, I'm going to go with number two, Futura's Hope. Another consistent maiden, always there or thereabouts, and he will have his day in the sun at some point. He does have a couple of issues, but certainly he looks to have a chance here in this type of company. It looks a nice exacta though, does 1 and 2. For third, I'm going with number 5, and that is Divergent. Last couple of runs a little bit disappointing, but I do think there is improvement to come, and he could be a little bit of value for the final leg of your trifecta. Race number 1, the selections 1, 2 and 5. Race number 2 will be the opening leg of the place accumulator, another smallish field. There are just 6 runners going to post, and this is the WW Cape Racing. .co.za. This is a handicap over 1,250 meters, merit rated 94. Let's go to the selections here, and I'm going to go with number 4, His Choice. Andre Knowles yard's been in top form of late, was a very good consistent run last time out as well, and I do think he could go in again. His Choice, he's looking to complete the hat-trick, and he's going to be my first choice. For second, I'm going to go with number 2, Hyde Park. He's been gelded, he does have scope for improvement, and he could certainly raise his level too. So definitely a major contender is the 2-horse Hyde Park. And then for third, I'm going to go with number 3, Joseph Barry. He's also been gelded. I think there's going to be plenty of improvement to come. He was a really good 2-year-old, was Joseph Barry, and I think there's plenty of improvement now with that gelding out the way. So he definitely comes into the fray as well. A reminder, it is the first leg of the place accumulator. PA numbers wise, I think you could probably get away with 2 and 4. Race number 3 is up next. No mask, no entry. A maiden plate, 4 fillies and mares. This time the trip 1,800 meters. For my first selection, I'm going with number 1, Rose Princess. Another one from the Andre Knowles yard. Certainly got some solid form to recommend. Has been knocking on the door and knocking pretty loudly. Grant Van Niekerk jumps in on board from a decent draw as well. Drawn in barrier position 4. I think Rose Princess could take a power of beating and is going to be my best bet on the card. For second, I'm going to go with number 3, Swazi Queen. This one from the Candice Robinson yard. Elder De Meyer jumps on board. Another one that's got some very consistent form. She's had a few more starts though. She's going to be having start number 9 in comparison to number 1, Rose Princess, who's only going to be having her 4th start. So 1 from 3. And to back up the final leg of the trifecta, I'm going with number 2, Respectable Miss from the Brett Crawford yard. Anton Marcus jumps from pole position, and another filly who's been pretty consistent of late, and she should be able to run on into the money. Race number 3 selections, I'm going with 1, 3 and 2. On we go to race number 4. This is the Please Observe Social Distancing, a maiden plate over 2,400 meters. First selection here, I'm going to go with number 7. That's Tales of Us. Has been knocking on the door, ran a cracker last time out, was finishing off that race well, finished second, and I do think it's going to be a good day for Andre Knowles and Grant Van Niekerk. So number 7, Tales of Us, my first choice. For second, I'm going to go with number 1, Magnum Fire. Magnum Fire is from the Corey Lensley yard, could be his first winner. Great opportunity here to get into the winner's enclosure. Devon Ashby jumps on board, and here's a horse that's been improving each and every start. For third, I'm going to go with number 3, On Your Marks. This is from the Candice Robinson yard. Elder De Meyer jumps on board, and again some nice improvement and not a bad run last time out behind what I think could be quite a useful type. So I think could be good enough to finish in that trifecta berth. Numbers then for race number 4, 7, 1 and 3. Race number 5 is the Computer Form Online. It's a merit rated 76, a handicap over 1,600 meters. Here my first choice is going to be number 3. So number 3 comes on as my top selection, Irish Tractor. Now here's a horse who really got his racing career off to a flying start. He lost his way a little bit, but definitely showed signs of a form return last start. He went down just 2.6 lengths behind Warrior. He didn't have the easiest of passages. It was quite tight on the rail for him, and I do think with Anton Marcus and pole position, he could be a tough nut to crack. For second, I'm going to go with number 1, Destin. Justin Snaith sends out the 5-year-old. He's the son of Jackson. Grant van Niekerk jumps on board. He's going to be carrying top weight, however, but he does have a decent draw at 4, albeit it's not a big field, but Destin will come out as my second choice. Third choice will go to number 4, and that is Anecdote. This one from the Jeff Woodruff yard, another horse that's been improving and showing some good signs of form, and he could be good enough for that third spot. There's the numbers then, 3, 1, 4 for race number 5. Next up, race number 6. This is the tabonline.co.za. It's a merit-rated 80 handicap over 1,250 metres. And for my first choice, we're going to be going with number 4. Number 4 is a horse called All About Al. Beautifully bred son of Captain Al. He's out of a Count Dubois mare, Counting Angels. Just had the one start for trainer Adam Marcus and came home very, very impressively indeed to land that first win, beating Captain Dizzy, who subsequently came out and won a nice race too. So that was really a good form line, and All About Al will certainly come into this race with a lot of support. For second, I've gone with number 3, Moon Rock from the Paul Reeves' yard. Keegan DeMello jumps on board. Here's another horse that doesn't really know how to run bad races and is pretty quick too. I think Moon Rock will give plenty of cheek and could be some decent value. And then for third, I'm going to go with number 1, Master of Power. This one from the Candace Robinson yard. Elder DeMeyer jumps on board, the 3-year-old son of Master of My Fate, and this one racing for Bryn Russell and Mar Shirtliff. Disappointing last run, but put a line through that. He's better than that, and he could bounce back to his true ability. Selections then, race number 6, we're going 4, 3 and 1. Race number 7, the Racing Association merit-rated 86, a handicap for fillies and mares. This time they're going the minimum trip, 1,000 metres. Here we're going to go as a first choice. We're going to go with number 5, Social Butterfly. Strong first choice as well. I think she's going to take a power of beating. Beautifully bred. She's a daughter of Var. She's out of the Dodge mare called Rat Barana, herself a Group 1 winner. Anton Marcus jumps on board for Brett Crawford. And again, I think this filly's been knocking on the door. This is the type of race that I could see her coming through and winning well. For second, I'm going to go with number 1, Green Light Gal. Another horse that started off its career very nicely, won 2 of its first 4 starts. Disappointed last time out, but again, I think just put a line through that. Obviously, there was a problem there, and she should bounce back to some better form than that. Richard Fourie and Justin Snaith teaming up. And then for third, I'm going with number 6, Brianna. Adam Marcus sends this daughter of Legislate out. She also a very easy winner on debut. She could be absolutely anything. Keegan DeMello jumps on board, and I think that she could give a really good account of herself. But race number 7, the selections 5, 1 and 6. Eighth and final race. Here is the next race meeting out at Durbanville. Is on the 21st of March. That'll feature the Klavervlei Farm Sale race. This is a maiden plate over 1,400 metres, and it's for fillies and mares. First choice, I'm going to go with number 2, Golden Dar. This one from the Candace Robinson yard. Elder DeMeyer jumps on board, cracking form, and last time out finishing the race off very nicely to go down just under 1.5 lengths. For me, she could take a power of beating in this type of company. For second, I've gone with the first timer. Beautifully bred is number 10, Razzle Dazzle. She's a daughter of Silvano. She's out of a Jetmaster mare. Andre Nell, the trainer, bred by La Plaisance, racing for Mrs. Plattner, and Grant van Niekerk jumps on board. I think this filly could well be good enough to be competitive first time of asking. And then for third, I'm going to go with number 1, Adira, Adam Marcus. He looks set to have some nice runners on the day, so another yard to include in all bet types. And Adira is a Where's That Tiger with Greg Sheen in the saddle, and this is a horse that ran an absolute cracker. Only went down ahead last time out and could certainly make amends on Saturday. Selections then 2, 10 and 1 for the 8th and final. Place accumulator time. Let's go through a place accumulator perm for Saturday, and we'll start in race number 2, and we're going with 2 and 4. We're then going to take a chance and banker our best bet on the card. That's number 1, Rose Princess. So 2 and 4 by banker 1, by 1 and 7, by 2 and 3, by 3 and 4, by banker 5, by 2 and 10. I'll repeat that: 2 and 4 by banker 1, by 1 and 7, by 2 and 3, by 3 and 4, by banker 5, by 2 and 10. Pick 6, slightly more expensive. We're taking a couple of wider chances here to maybe get a result. We go in the first leg 1, 2 and 3 in the pick 6, 1, 3, 5 and 7, by 2 and 3, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4 and 5, and the final leg 1 and 2. I'll repeat: 1, 2, 3, by 1, 3, 5, 7, by 2 and 3, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by 1, 4 and 5, and by 1 and 2. Durbanville's pick 6 for Saturday. Best bet on the card comes in race number 3, Rose Princess, number 1. And a reminder that GGGaming offers a double stretch on our best bet selections. So Rose Princess, certainly worth getting involved in. Best value? Well, here I'm going to go in race number 8 with number 2, Golden Dar. I think not a bad price for a horse. It's all dependent really on how good Andre Knowles' first timer is. But certainly representing some good, solid racing form is number 2, Golden Dar. Best value bet with GGGaming.